GHG dear students, how are you? In this lecture related to general concept of chemistry, I am going to discuss about laws of chemical combination and about molecular formula, structural formula and empirical formula. First of all, I am going to discuss about laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination. Those particular laws which are applicable for the combination of two or more than two elements to explain any chemical phenomena, then such laws are said to be laws of chemical combination. And in these laws, first of all, I am going to discuss about law of mass of conservation. Law of mass conservation. First, law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. According to this law, the matter neither created nor destroyed. The matter neither created nor destroyed. It can transfer from one form to another form. Such law is known as law of conservation of mass or law of mass conservation. For example, each and every chemical reaction used to behave under law of mass conservation, strictly follow to law of mass conservation. For example, as N2 plus thrice H2 gives out twice NH3. This chemical reaction, which is present in balanced state, stoichiometric state, okay, it will strictly follow to law of mass conservation. Why? In this case, the mass of reactant must be equal to the mass of product. Total number of atoms of any element which are present in reactant must be equal to the number of atom of same element in the side of product. As here, mass of reactants, that is equal to nitrogen 2 atoms, and one atomic mass of nitrogen is 14 to jar 28, plus mass of hydrogen atom is 1 3 to jar 6, makes 34. And here the mass of products, atomic mass of nitrogen 14, hydrogen 3, and since 2 moles of ammonia are present here, that is equal to 34. Okay? Ultimately, the stoichiometric weight of reactant must be equal to the stoichiometric weight of product. So it is also counted under law of conservation of mass. That's why it is compulsory to balance any chemical reaction in proper state. Suppose any chemical reaction is not present in balanced state, so it is not counted as a chemical reaction. Okay? This is the law of conservation of mass. And second part of law of conservation of mass, law of definite proportion. Okay. Second one is law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. What is this? Any compound or any substance which is prepared by any process or taken through any source, but the composition of that compound always remain constant. Come to know, any compound having the combination of different elements that is prepared by any process or taken through any source, but its chemical composition always remain constant, either according to mass or according to volume. For example, as for H2O, it is taken through any source or prepared through any process, but here the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen, ratio between hydrogen and oxygen according to mass, H ratio O. Atomic mass of hydrogen 2. Atomic mass is 1, molar mass is 2, and for oxygen 60, which is equal to 1, 2 1 are 2, 2 8 are 16, 1 ratio 8. 1 ratio 8 means according to mass, the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen always stand 1 ratio 8. As on taking 10 moles of water, as for 10 moles of water, H ratio O equal to 2, 10 to the 20, 1 oxygen 16, 10, 1 60, 8. Stand always 1 ratio 8. By the same way, we can also prove according to volume, as according to volume in H2O, H ratio O 2 ratio 1. In 1 mole of water, the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen according to volume is 2 ratio 1. As for 5:2, H ratio O 1, 2, 5 2 are 10, and 5 1 are 5. 5 1 are 5, 5 2 are 10. 2 ratio 1. That is constant or evergreen. Clear? Through this example, it is not only applicable for water. You can take any one compound and prove properly that any compound which is prepared by any source or prepared through any process, but its chemical composition always remain same. Right? Any confusion? Okay. Now we are going to discuss about third part. Third law, that is law of multiple proportion. That is known as law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. law of multiple proportion. What is this? Ultimately, it is very important. Very important. Law of multiple proportion. For example, any element when two or more than two elements, particularly we have taken the example two elements. When two elements combine together to form two compounds. When two elements combine together to form two compounds. Then one element which used to combine with the fixed amount of other element in both the compounds has simple ratio with respect of its mass. Looks complicated? No. When two elements combine together to form two compounds in which the different amount of one element used to combine with the fixed amount of other element in both the compounds, then that element has simple ratio with respect of mass in both the compound. Through example, you will understood it easily. Okay. For example, as carbon and oxygen combined together to form two compounds, and these two compounds are carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. These are the two compounds which are formed when carbon and oxygen combine together. Now, in carbon monoxide, C ratio O is equal to 12 ratio 16 according to mass. Okay, and in carbon dioxide, C ratio O is equal to 12 ratio 32. Clear? In case of carbon monoxide, the ratio of mass between carbon and hydrogen 12 ratio 16, because atomic mass of carbon 12 and atomic mass of oxygen is 16. And in case of carbon dioxide, 12 carbon but oxygen, since oxygen has the two atoms here, 16 to the 32. In both the compound, mass of carbon is constant. Then the other element means oxygen, which used to combine with the fixed mass of same element in both the compounds, have simple ratio in its mass in both the compounds. Therefore, ratio of mass of oxygen in CO and CO2, okay, in CO and CO2 equal to 16 ratio 32, because here mass of carbon is fixed. तो इन दोनों कंपाउंड में कार्बन की फिक्स अमाउंट से ऑक्सीजन की जो डिफरेंट अमाउंट पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, their amounts have a simple ratio or its multiple, means 16 1 jar 1, 16 2 jar 32 equal to 1 ratio 2, which is a simple ratio. This is the law of multiple proportion. Means when two elements combine together to form two compounds, then that element which used to combine with the constant amount of one element in both the compounds have simple ratio if according to its mass in both the compound. And this is not only the example. You can take another example just like H2O and H2O2. A lot of examples are there. Okay, clear? This is third law known as law of multiple proportion. Now I am going to discuss about fourth law, and that is known as law reciprocal proportion. Fourth, law of reciprocal proportion. Fourth part, law of reciprocal proportion. Okay, most important, law of reciprocal proportion. Its numericals produce some complexion during their solution. Okay, तो यह है क्या, कोई कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है, समझिए ध्यान से. According to law of reciprocal proportion, suppose two elements used to combine individually with third element to form two compounds. When two elements individually combined with third element to form two compounds. Okay, if these two elements directly combined with each other, then the compound which is formed by the combination of these two elements have the same ratio as its ratio is given in both the compounds which are formed by the combination with third element. Feeling some complexion? Oh, no. Through example, the concept of this law must be clear. See, for example, as carbon and hydrogen react with oxygen to form CO2 and H2O. These two compounds are formed, CO2 and H2O. Clear? See here properly. Two elements, carbon and hydrogen, used to combine with oxygen to form CO2 and H2O. Clear? Here you can find the ratio. You can decide the ratio. Two elements are individually carbon and hydrogen. Okay? Used to form CO2 and H2O. In other way, you can also represent or carbon and oxygen used to react with third element, hydrogen. It is also possible. It is also possible. Means carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen individually react with hydrogen. Then in this case also two compounds are going to form. When carbon react with hydrogen, it will form CH4. And when oxygen react with hydrogen, it used to form H2O. Clear? Then these are the element and third element is hydrogen. Okay? Then first of all, you have to calculate the mass, ratio of mass of these element, means carbon and oxygen, with a fixed mass of third element which is hydrogen. Means इन दोनों कंपाउंड में हाइड्रोजन के फिक्स मास से कंबाइंड होने वाले ऑक्सीजन और कार्बन के मास का रेशियो फाइंड करते हैं. मींस एज इन CH4 H ratio C means hydrogen ratio carbon according to mass. In CH4 the ratio between hydrogen and carbon according to mass. Carbon atomic mass, hydrogen 1, there are 4 hydrogen. 4:12. Simplify to this one. 4 1 are 4, 4 3 are 12. Its ratio is 1:3. By the same way, in H2O, H ratio O is equal to, in H2O, H ratio atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Here are 2 hydrogen, the 2:16. Simplify to this one, which is implies 2 1 are 2, 2 8 are 16, means 1:8. Till here you have to confirm. In means हमने इसका सेकेंड स्टेप लिया. When two element carbon and hydrogen used to combine with third element to form two compounds, like carbon and oxygen used to combine with hydrogen to form CH4 as well as H2O. Ultimately, in both the compound, we have to find out the ratio of mass of carbon and hydrogen with the fixed mass of, with the fixed carbon and oxygen with the fixed mass of hydrogen. That's why in case of CH4, इसमें कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन 1:3. The amount of hydrogen is fixed 1, and here carbon 3. In case of H2O, fixed mass of hydrogen is 1 and oxygen 8. Therefore, ratio of mass between carbon and oxygen, the mass ratio of mass between carbon and hydrogen in both the compound, ratio carbon and oxygen, not hydrogen, because hydrogen fixed amount is already combined. Then the ratio of the carbon between the carbon and oxygen is equal to carbon 3. Means इन दोनों कंपाउंड में हाइड्रोजन के फिक्स अमाउंट से पार्टिसिपेट करने वाले कार्बन और ऑक्सीजन की अमाउंट में जो एक रेशियो आया, दैट इज 3:8. क्लियर? नाउ सपोज if carbon and oxygen directly combined with each other, then the compound which is formed by the combination of carbon and oxygen must have same ratio between carbon and hydrogen according to mass. Okay? For example, then it will form carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, C ratio O. Here atomic mass of carbon 12 and oxygen 16 to 32. Okay? 4 3 are 12 or 4 8 are 32. That is 3:8, having the same ratio. Clear? This is known as law of reciprocal proportion. Clear? It is not necessary that you have to take only the example of carbon and hydrogen. जो पहले से भी मैंने लिखा था ऐसे भी हम प्रूव कर सकते हैं, और ये नीचे लिखा था इसको लेकर के हमने प्रूव कर दिया. मीन्स ये सिंपल क्या बना? When two elements used to combine with third element to form two compound, then the ratio of their mass with a fixed amount of one third element in both the compound, then the ratio of their mass in both the compound which used to combine with the fixed mass of third elements has same ratio if these two elements directly combine to form a compound like this and this. Clear? यदि दो एलिमेंट्स इंडिविजुअली थर्ड एलिमेंट के साथ मिलकर के दो कंपाउंड बनाते हैं, तो उन दोनों कंपाउंड में थर्ड एलिमेंट की फिक्स अमाउंट से कंबाइंड होने वाले दोनों एलिमेंट की मास में जो रेशियो होगा, जो रेशियो होता है, जो रेशियो आएगा, वही रेशियो उन दोनों एलिमेंट में उस समय भी होगा जब वो दोनों आपस में कंबाइंड होकर के एक नेक्स्ट कंपाउंड बनाएंगे. दैट इज गिवन हियर. दिस इज नोन एज लॉ ऑफ रेसिप्रोकल प्रोपोर्शन. एंड लास्ट वन इज मीन्स नंबर 4, Gay-Lussac-Clausius law. In fourth number, that is Gay-Lussac-Clausius law. Gay-Lussac's gaseous law. What is this? So simple. It is applicable only for gaseous component. Means, according to this law, when two gaseous element means gaseous substances combine together to form a product, and if product is also present in gaseous state, then there will be a simple ratio between the reactant and product. Clear? When two gaseous compound combine together to form a new product, and if product is also present in gaseous state, then there will be a simple ratio between the reactant and product molecules. For example, as hydrogen combined with chlorine to form HCl, right? Well, after balancing, gas. Here in case of reactant, two components are present here, hydrogen and chlorine, both are present in gaseous state, and product is also gas. Therefore, according to this law, the ratio between hydrogen, ratio chlorine, ratio HCl, number of moles of hydrogen 1, number of moles of chlorine 1, and number of moles of HCl 2. H2 ratio Cl2 ratio HCl is 1:1:2, which is counted a simple ratio. These are laws of chemical combination individually. Clear? Any more confusion? The remaining confusion must be clear during the solving numerical related to these laws. And now I am going to discuss about molecular formula, empirical formula, as well as structural formula. Okay? Then first of all, about molecular formula. What is the molecular formula? That chemical formula in which, listen to me, what is the molecular formula? That chemical formula which used to explain about the total number of atoms of different element in given compound. Clear? For example, as in glucose, its formula C6H12O6. This is the molecular formula of glucose, means C6H12O6. What do you mean by this? According to this formula, which is counted as the molecular formula, It used to explain the information that 1 mole of glucose having 6 carbon atom, 12 hydrogen atom and 6 oxygen atom. It means, according to definition, molecular formula used to explain about the total number of the atoms of different element. Total number of the atoms of different element in given compound. Clear? This is the molecular formula. Okay? Now, about empirical formula. Now about empirical formula. What is the empirical formula? That chemical formula which used to explain, about the ratio between the total number of atoms of different element in given compound. Clear? जिस फार्मूले के द्वारा किसी कंपाउंड में उपस्थित सभी एलिमेंट के टोटल नंबर ऑफ एटम्स के बीच एक रेशियो के बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त होती है, सच केमिकल फार्मूला इज सेड टू बी empirical formula. Right? For example, as for glucose, whose molecular formula is C6H12O6. Now, ratio between carbon ratio, hydrogen ratio, oxygen is equal to 6:12:6. Means 6 1 jar 6, 6 2 jar 12, 6 1 jar 6. Which is implies C ratio H ratio O is equal to 1:2:1. Clear? It means therefore empirical formula of glucose, equal to CH2O. This is the empirical formula. This empirical formula used to explain one thing, that the ratio between the atom of hydrogen, oxygen and carbon, that is given as 1:2:1. That is going to clear through this formula. CH2O. This formula used to explain that the ratio between carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is 1:2:1. This is known as empirical formula. And third category, that is structural formula. Now what is structural formula? What is structural formula? It is highly effective. That chemical formula of any compound, which used to explain about the types of bonding and the presence of functional group in related compound is called structural formula. मीन्स जिस फॉर्मूले के द्वारा किसी कंपाउंड में पाए जाने वाले डिफरेंट सॉर्ट्स ऑफ केमिकल बॉन्डिंग और उसमें प्रेजेंट डिफरेंट फंक्शनल ग्रुप के बारे में जानकारी हो, सच केमिकल फॉर्मूला इज नोन एज स्ट्रक्चरल फॉर्मूला. फॉर एग्जांपल, द सेम कंपाउंड एज फॉर ग्लूकोज, as for glucose, okay, as for the glucose, its molecular formula you know well, C6H12O6. Now its structural formula, CHO, CHOH whole 4 single bond CH2OH. On more clarification, you may note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? See here. First carbon atom. Second carbon, there are 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is clear? Because you know well, in each and every compound, carbon has 4 valencies. CHO, H, OH, H, OH, H, OH, H, OH, H, OH. This one is considered to be the structural formula of glucose. So this structural formula, it is clear. It is clear that 2 functional groups are present here. Aldehyde in CHO, first carbon atom associated with aldehyde group, and alcoholic group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 alcoholic group, 1 aldehyde group, and different sorts of bonding. This whole information we can collect through structural formula. Okay? It means in this lecture I have explained about laws of chemical combination, in which first, law of mass conservation, second, law of definite proportion, third, law of multiple proportion, fourth, law of reciprocal proportion, and fifth, Gay-Lussac's gaseous law, and finally about molecular formula, empirical formula, and structural formula. Now I want to explain one relation. What is the relation between molecular formula and empirical formula? Okay? Because this formula is highly applicable for numerical purpose. Relation between molecular formula and empirical formula. Molecular formula as well as empirical formula. See, molecular formula is equal to N into empirical formula. And what is N? N is the ratio between molar mass upon empirical formula mass. With this ratio, with this relation, with the help of this relation, we can find out the value of N. And after deciding the value of N, when it is multiplied by empirical formula, then molecular formula is obtained. Clear? Then everything is going to discuss properly under some basic concept of chemistry. Only one topic that is related to significant figure, and that topic is most easy. So I think there is no necessary to discuss that topic again in my lecture. Okay? And in next lecture of some basic concept of chemistry, I will discuss competitive approach as well as related numericals of this chapter. JHJ, thank you.